much more interesting. Anyways, I wanted to talk about Umeda Station here, or Osaka Station here in Umeda. Not sure what you want to call it. Osaka JR Station. It's always been this little tiny station, and on the end of it there's kind of a shopping mall, and then the Hanshi department store was on the other end, which had its own department store. And then from there south, you got the Hanshi department store, and then you kind of start into the Dai buildings and a bit of shopping, and there's shopping off to the north of it, but there wasn't anything really at the station. A little bit. It wasn't as huge as looking at Kyoto Station or some of the other ones. And then we've been hearing, oh, Japan's in a recession. The economy's been really slow, and they've been talking about that for a long time. But 2 years ago, this wasn't here. They built up the Osaka Umeda Station. If you look behind me here, this is 7 stories, 7 or, oh gosh, I think the whole thing's 10 stories above ground. This massive complex. All of this, these escalators go up and they go over the train tracks. Hard to see in the background here, but this slanted roof, that is actually over the train. They just had these little tin roofs covering the trains before. They were rather ugly, outdated. They look like they've been there since, I don't know, the 70s. Just tin or fiberglass roofs, they kind of corrugated feel to them. And they're still taking parts of them out, but they started out by covering everything over with this giant sloped roof and attaching this, which is called Lucia. It's full of department stores and restaurants. Tons of stores and merchandise. So, okay, this is one building, but I've seen things springing up all over the place, and it looks like they've finally decided to develop this area. This here is the Yodobashi camera store. It always looked like Yodobashi camera, and then this street which was right in front, which was just nothing. There was nothing there. It was a vacant lot. This building, it's in process with these massive cranes up top. Looks like they've got about 8 stories done, and they're still working on all the groundwork in here. The only thing in between, you got the cheering yard over here, and then that's the Umeda Sky building. All of this has come together in the last 2 years. Huge development. And they're still saying, oh, Japan's in a recession, nothing's going on. And I noticed that in the restaurants when I talk to people, they get this feel that the economy is so stalled and so slow. And in some sections it is, but seeing how much construction is going on, not just here, there's massive amounts of restaurants that are going in, and people still feel like the economy is not doing well, but there's a ton of construction. It's interesting to see. It's nice to see this area getting kind of developed. Before you would, it's a really long walk between here and the Sky building, and there's nothing in between. You had to snake back in behind this building and catch a passageway underneath the railroad tracks to get there. And that neighborhood, other than that building, is actually fairly quiet. You got that building and the Westin Hotel, and then some smaller restaurants and hotels and apartment buildings. It doesn't seem that big, but now they're connecting it all, and they're drawing it together. I don't really like being in all the crowds, but I like the architecture. It's really interesting to see. Especially a day like today. This is a quieter little balcony here, but as you can see, actually this seems a little quieter in here too. When you're downstairs one level or you're inside any of the shops, you're almost always running into people. The economy is moving, even though we're saying it's not. It's interesting. And I kind of like the building. Also, I'll see if I can maybe get some of the shots up from the roof on sometime. It's a big open area, like kind of garden feel up top, or from what I've seen from the building across the way. Anyways, that's it for now. Okay, I'm going to continue this video because I find it really interesting up here, and I hadn't noticed before. There's always a roof over it when you're downstairs. The rest of this building is 20 stories tall, and there's something huge up top there. Ballrooms of some kind, or banquet halls, I'm not sure. anyways, it still amazes me that all of this got put together in 2 years. There's a bridge down the Dotonbori Bridge, which is really famous, in the middle of Osaka, and it was under renovation when I was doing study abroad. And then I came back, and it was still under renovation. And they only finished it like 2009? It took them at least 4 years, if not 5 years, to do this one bridge. And, you know, stagnant economy, okay, maybe we don't have money to do it, and now we see people working on it. This whole thing went up, you know, in less than 2 years. This entire section here, 20-story building, all the shops, you know, this massive building over here that's gone in. There's so much that's coming together so quickly, and still saying, oh, the economy is doing really poorly. Seems like a bit of a contradiction. Anyways, it is cool up here. They've kind of integrated all their air conditioning units and all this. That's got its own space, and then they put flowers on the roof as well. And there's a little bit of a garden section over there with some token, just a few wind turbines to show that they're being ecological. And it's got solar panels on the side as well. And then these cameras. Anywhere you go in the station, you're sure Big Brother's watching you. Cameras are everywhere, especially inside the station. Big, futuristic, but some green and some token environmentalism with it. It's just good that there's some of that, if people think in that right direction. Anyway, there's also a plant down here. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. I'm not sure if I've done a video about it before, so I'm going to add that on. Okay, so here's this weird plant. I don't know what these are. I think they're like a squash of some kind. I mean, you feel them, they're fairly hard, but they're obviously hollow. You see them a lot around this time of year, towards Christmas. I've seen them as ornaments or as decorations on tables, part of centerpieces and displays. And they last for a really long time. If you pick one of these off of here, it'll be there for, keep its color, its shape, it won't rot for a week or two. It's a really strange plant. I think its name is something related to a fox, I don't know. But I don't think you can eat it. It just looks nice. Okay, that's it for this station. I'm going to get home and change out of these clothes. Shouldn't be in business clothes on a Sunday. Okay, I'm on a roll with this video, so again, I'm making it longer. Then I'm going to get on the train and go home. Everything else you see in the station is refined, perfectly in place. There's no garbage on the ground. There's, it's brand new, so no scuff marks. Everything's super clean. And the benches are set up so people can relax, but no one's sleeping there. Now, there are no bums, no buskers, no one's selling anything they're not supposed to, not unless they're in a store. And in the middle of all this, you have this. And this is part of Osaka Station as well. This is the Ikoka card. And I'm sure it's just a campaign, but it's people with plastic signs yelling at people as they come by saying, you should get a card. I've redone this video a second time, and the guy that was here when I came up the stairs, that's in the background, the guy's got a little speaker system attached to his chest, and it lets him scream louder at the crowd. Get yourself a card, it's cheaper, it's more convenient. And for everything else that's so classy, this is just not. Again, same business, same company that's making all of this. So, surprising contrast how it all comes together. And they've taken good notice of the fact that I'm making this video and they're watching me make it. I'm pointing at them. This must be a hard job for them.